Hello and welcome back to S2 Tournaments. Right now we have a matchup between Elysium versus Cynic in round 4. Is Cynic starting on the killer side? I'm here with my co-caster Nightmare, and I want to know what you think of this matchup on this set specifically.
I'm interested to see, to be honest. Obviously, everyone knows Elysium, probably one of the best teams in the world at the moment. I've not seen much of Cynic myself, but I'm looking forward to see what sort of games they give Elysium, and hopefully they can push them and make it an interesting few sets.
Yeah, for sure. I do think it will be a good game. Cynic are also a very strong team on the NA West region mainly, so the ping difference is going to be a big factor actually potentially. Right now Ultra just taking chase on a main, but it's a very tough place to take the chase, but still committing for it either way. And now Xeno is trapped on a bit of a worse tile.
Yeah, not exactly the best palette you'd want to be trapped on, but he's done well to move away from it.
And as this chase extends now, we do see Pedro in the background potentially coming in for a body block. So this is starting to look pretty scary for Ultra, as the gen pressure has got to be getting relatively high as the first gen already pops.
Yeah, no, it doesn't surprise me. So Elysium starting off here pretty much how I've always seen them start off. Nice strong start from them, but still plenty of time in the game. So I'd expect Cynic will pull it back somewhat.
Yeah, and obviously we saw the body block did come in from Kexo, not Pedro, so there is still potential for some other survivors to help out. And a lot of drones down right now, but it just doesn't really seem to be helping Ultra as Xeno continues to play perfectly around these tiles.
A lot of drones on the top path though. You can see there is that 3-gen. If they Cynic's managed to hold on to that 3-gen at the top of the map there by main, then it is going to be a very difficult end game coming towards when we get down towards the last gen for Elysium, especially against the Skull merchant.
Yeah, and honestly, I'm interested to hear Ultra's reasoning behind playing this tile, because I think iLoop is known to be one of the best tiles in the game yet. Ultra spent a lot of time trying to hit Xeno around it, and it's very costly. This early game is getting very, very long now without a first down.
Yeah, I am, like you said, I'm very surprised that he has committed to Xeno this long. I probably would have expected to see the chase dropped, but I guess in Ultra knows what he's doing. He's obviously got a game plan in his head, so we'll just have to see what it brings us.
And we do see the 2nd gen popping now, and Xeno's still going in the chase, just playing really well. And right now for Ultra, I imagine the only chance to really get back into this one is to play around some sort of gen split. See if there's any 3 gens around, potentially a 4 gen, but I doubt it at this stage in the game, but it's looking scary for sure.
I think he's still got the 3-gen at the top of the map, but I mean he's committed so much to chase down this bottom end. Are they going to be progressing massively one of those 3 gens? Wouldn't surprise me if they are. Coming in with a body block as well. Oh, whoa. The ping difference there coming into play.
Yeah, very interesting hit onto Kexo. But now with 2 survivors on the floor, has information on Marcos. And I think we'll be able to pick Kexo because Kexo is actually in the gen split, so actually worked out relatively well for Ultra to maybe get his way back into it.
Exactly, I thought as he was walking away then, I was thinking maybe he'd be better off placing on this hook to try and hold that 3-gen, which obviously he saw the hook and he obviously thought exactly the same thing there. They have been able to get the pick up on Xeno though. Wouldn't surprise me if they were going in for the reset as well. There we go, we see it there.
Yeah, Ultra still does have all 4 stacks of Painter, so another thing that he could play into. Didn't decide to use that one on Kexo. So if he can string some downs together, could be pretty strong. Fast under coming through, now chase onto Pedro and another strong tile, but will be getting downed almost instantly. And Rapid Brutality getting some value here with Forced Hesitation, an insane combo, and gives Re-tag onto Marcos.
Ooh. There's still gen pressure on the go from Xeno. But no, I would imagine the way these gens have been popping off, I wouldn't be surprised if Ultra's holding on to these pain resists for the last gen here. I'll see a DS coming in there. From Kexo.
Yeah, and that's really not going to help Ultra out because gen pressure is getting scarily high around the map as Ultra does seem to be playing it slow right now, just decommitting, searching for some survivors. But yeah, we saw it get value there. Forced hesitation and rapid brutality as a perk combo. What are your thoughts on that?
Not something you see very often, to be honest. I don't think I can name a time I've seen it before, but when it works, you can't really question it.
I mean, yeah, for sure. Theoretically, it does make a lot of sense, but 2 slots for Chase is... It's a questionable decision, but could definitely pay off going into this one further.
This is it.
Right
Okay, I say unfortunately, I think it still has a 3 gen, not quite the best one that it could have had. They have lost the main gen there. But definitely wants to focus on these 3 gens over here. If he's going to lose another gen, I would, if it was me, I'd be more happy to lose the gen on the far side.
Yeah, for sure. I think that one's kind of out of sight, out of mind right now for Ultra. Just really needs to find something to get his foot back into it because it's really behind right now. And that is a gen in the 3 gen popping, so a horrible gen split now with 1 gen remaining. It's looking like this could build into a really strong result for Elysium.
That is rough. And we've seen previously as well, Xeno had some decent pressure on that gen on the far side as well, so it's not even like it's sat at 0 at the moment.
Yeah, I would not be surprised to see it pop in shortly. And no endgame perks. And Kexo is the least valuable survivor right now. Kexo is the only one with a stage, so kind of everything looking in Cynic's favor, in Elysium's favor.
Oh, the adrenaline there for Pedro as well after taking that hit. I would imagine Ultra is going to try and get Kexo out here just to take the 1 kill. But a very strong start from Elysium.
Yeah, just really going into this one and dominating early on, setting the standard for the rest of the games. You do see it down onto Kexo, so Ultra could build something here. There's 3 injuries, maybe able to build it into more with rapid brutality and forced hesitation, getting his value in, and I believe he will be getting Xeno down as well, and potentially even more, depending on where Pedro and Marcus are.
Yeah, the thing is, all to be careful of is that they don't manage to get the pickup. But I don't think anyone is near. Oh, they managed to get the pickup on Kexo.
But I believe that was unbreakable, I think.
Unbreakable?
Unless I didn't see a survivor nearby, but
oh, no, it wasn't,
now both survivors back up. So the favourable position Ultra is in already lost completely.
I think the only thing that Ultra has going from at the moment is I was about to say the gate is fully open now. It's one of those, if he can hold him here for long enough, he might be able to get it, but well, he's got Marcos down as well. It is really rough for Ultra though. I think he's just trying to salvage what he can from this so far at the moment. But they've managed to get the reset in on Xeno, so Xeno is fully healed. Wouldn't surprise me if he's the one coming in to get the pickups.
Yeah, and I think Ultra may be getting a little too greedy, to be fair. Wants 2 kills, could potentially get it, but just does run the risk of getting 1 staged if Ultra goes for it, so yeah.
I think it'd be best off to hook. I think the problem with Ultra is that I think he fully knows the second he picks up to hook, they're gonna get 3 out because they're obviously Elysium. They're not stupid. They're just gonna take what they can get.
Yeah, of course, and would be a 4 stage if he takes Xeno. I think we'll be able to get the down onto Pedro here as well. So if he's somehow able to get them both, that would be 7 stages, which is a very respectable result from where it came from. Or where it was at least.
Oh. Elysium are going to have to be careful in a second here of the timer, because I have a feeling it's the other gate on the other side of the map that's open. Oh, they've managed to get Xeno out.
Ultra is very extended onto Marcus, who he's not going to be able to get. Now it's a rush back to Kexo. Hope he gets it back in time before he gets picked up. But
I think he's lost.
I think he's just going to sit back and protect the gate. But yeah, they all leave. Kexo, the only one on the floor, no eyes on him, will be finally picked up, and that will be a 1k3. A very strong performance from Elysium on the serve side.
Yeah, it doesn't surprise me seeing this from Elysium. They are a very strong team, and obviously just putting it on show here for everyone, just as to why they are considered one of the best in the world at the moment. Very strong start from them.
And we will be seeing if Cynic can clap back at that very strong performance in the second game that we will be with you very shortly.
Alrighty, welcome back everybody. We are in the second game of the first set with Skull Merchant here. We have Kesko Killing going against Team Cynic, and it's going to be a very interesting matchup. And right now, it was a very one-sided affair with the last game. You know, they tried their best. Ultra did their best to make something happen. It was able to get at least a 1K with 3 hook stages, total of 7 points. But it's going to be very interesting how Team Cynic is going to respond to this on the Survivor side. And right now, I'm here with co-casting with my boy Bread and Dr. Nightmare. And Bread, what's your predictions for this game, knowing the steep win con that we have here?
And yeah, honestly, it is going to be really tough for Cynic. 3 stages, such a low win con. The only thing I can think of really to try get that is just to focus a lot on chase, get body blocking going, pallet saves going, and just try extend everything for as long as possible. But obviously even that might not do it.
Yeah, I think it's especially the first down. This first down's gonna have to be extended as long as possible for them to even stand a chance to get back into it at all. But it'll be interesting to see how they do play this. So far, doing really well. This first chase is going all right. Hopefully they can keep it up and give us an interesting game.
Ooh, it was able to win the mind game there. Angel's going down relatively quickly. This is exactly what Kesko needed. And right now he's in the driver's seat with that first hook already coming in and a stack of pain res being used and pop in the back pocket as we see here. Let's see what the survivors are up to now. We see Nini over here stalking around, waiting for the Skull Merchant to leave and try to get something working, but it looks like we're on another survivor maybe.
Yeah, and honestly, Kexo's really not pressured right now because with the 3-stage win con, theoretically, he could just sit on Angels and let him die, but obviously, probably not the best way to go about it. The unhook does come through, Kexo will be going back, but potentially tunnel out, but maybe another fresh hook. We shall see.
Yeah, it's. I'll be honest. I'm not too surprised to not see him sit on there and just sit it out to the death. Obviously, wants to make this game somewhat interesting. As I said, there's no pressure on Elysium at all in this game. They can literally take the back seat and just enjoy themselves if they want to, I'd imagine.
Yes, but right now we only see 1 hook state with 4 gens remaining, and right now Nancy forced to crouch, doesn't get hit with the broken status effect, as we can see right there. Does make a little bit of distance, but doesn't have much to work with, so we're going to be seeing another down very quickly after the on-hook and the potential reset that we saw. And this will be a first hook on Nini, and a second stack of pain res, I would assume, maybe even not, because of the fact that it was a quicker down. We'll see in just a moment. That was a very quick down there for Team Elysium.
Yeah, right now Kexo just completely in control. Gets the second stage on the board with only 1 generator popping, so I mean, it would have to be a miracle at this point for Cynic to come back, but you never know. Anything's possible. Cynic are a good team, so Potentially, but it's unlikely at this point as Chase is onto Ultra, I believe, yeah. And I think he's getting attacked, run into a somewhat of a massive dead zone, actually. Just nothing this side of the map, apart from the shack. And Chase will continue towards the shack.
Yeah, Ultra getting unlucky there, running into complete dead zone, like you said. Really interesting to see how long they can keep it going at shack here. I'd imagine keep it going for a little bit, but Cakes are doing really well there to shut off that distance. It's hard to see Cynic coming back too much in this set from the start that they had. I say I've been proven wrong enough times the other night, Justin here, so I don't want to make too many judgment calls, but it does look like we're about to see the third hook stage here now.
Yeah, the unfortunate thing when you're playing with teams of this elite of a caliber, when they set up a win con like that, or anything that's in the as a spectrum of, like, you could say for the fact of win con or how many hook states, they can make it happen. So yes, like, it would be almost impossible for Cynic to do it just because of how good Elysium is, but it's the vice versa too. If Cynic was put in the same win con that right now that Elysium's in, it would be very hard for Elysium to make that happen. You know what I mean? Because, like, when you have the win con in the back of your head, you have a certain play style. And we see that time and time again here and in other leagues as well too. So it's very interesting to see how they're going to respond now going into the second set. And hopefully they can win it here, because I would love to see the tiebreaker. They go to tiebreaker here, but we'll see as we're chasing Nini over, not at the relatively strong, you know, palette, but did make the 50-50 call correctly. And let's see how they continue here as we continue on to this game.
Yeah, and to be fair to Cynic, they aren't going to take the win of the set, but they've actually played very well in this game. Kexo is getting some decent quick downs, but their gen pressure has been able to make it worthwhile. Only 2 generators left to go. I don't believe there's that much of a gen split than Kexo can protect. Potentially a small 3 gen, but it's not that tight, so it shouldn't be too much problem for Cynic, you'd imagine.
Oh yeah, Cynic, obviously, regardless of first game, they put in a good show here in this game. It is nothing to be disappointed about at all, the way they've been bashing these gens out. But fortunately, it's just I think when you get to this caliber tournament and this caliber of teams, it's the smallest mistakes will come back to haunt you very, very quickly.
Yeah, I agree 100%. We actually had that happen yesterday with Sinners and Zero Practice. If you remember, Nightmare, where Jason was just able to make the right play at the right time and able to capitalize on it. And we see that time and time again, and it just makes these games so amazing and so fun to watch. And when there is crazy comebacks like we had like last week, where Loyalty was they lost in a tiebreaker set, and if they would have just got a hatch play, they would have tied up and we would have went to a second like a tiebreaker. It's just insane when you have plays that happen like that at this high of a level of caliber. It really is. But we only have 1 generator left right now, and we already see our first death coming in finally. With 1 gen left, it's going to be a 1v3. I would assume that Elysium will be popping this generator any minute now. I mean, Cynic, sorry. But yeah. But Kesko's trying to just get as much as, much pressure as possible and just get as many points for his team.
Yeah, but to be fair, the 3 gen is a little tighter than I first thought. They got a lot of pressure as the drone is under the map, interestingly. But to be fair, it might be quite a difficult task for Cynic to break out of, actually, because all 3 injured. Okay, so got information on all of them. This could potentially be a down for Ultra. Does make it to the pallet, actually, and will be playing it around this middle of the map. But yeah, it could actually be kind of difficult for Cynic here.
Yeah, Kexo somehow managing to pull out quite a tight 3 gen actually. I didn't really notice it to start with, but he's done well to hold on to it. As I say, it's going to make this then part of the game really difficult for Cynic now. Although they are getting good pressure going in on the gen there. If they can get if Kexo can get another drone or 2 up on these gens, it is going to make it a bit of a rough ride for Cynic.
Yeah, right now at this moment, it depends if Ultra was already hit with the pain res. If not, they might just be good. As we can see, Ace is over here working on it and has it pretty much close to being done, but not close enough, I don't think, for... Oh, nope. And then Pop was in the back pocket too. So unfortunately, it looks like Cynic will not be able to finish this last generator at this very moment. But wait, doesn't decide to pop it with that generator all the way back there. So if they can waste the killer's time and Kesko doesn't go for this, oh, and he does, of course he does. I would say if he didn't go for that generator, they might have given Angels just enough time to pop it. But as we can see here, that's not the case, as we see Team Elysium pushing over here. And now on Angels. It looks like this is the beginning of the end here. But we still have an amazing at least a possible one more set, which I'm really excited for too.
It was just a really nice down through the window onto Angels, predicting it, and
that was nice.
Damn. Now, okay, so got information on all 3 survivors. Acid just crouching and tanks the hit. But this is looking like it could snowball into dangerous territory for Cynic. Especially with Ultra going down just there.
Yeah, did well to get the pallet stun, especially when we're looking at a decent ping difference. Although, was that a pickup or was that an unbreakable maybe? I don't think it's going to change too much. It's just extended it a little bit, but they're definitely in a difficult position here, Cynic, and it looks like Kexo is going to snowball this.
That was a very good, I'm sorry, but Brandon, you were right. I could even react to it because I was commentating. But we see the pickup too after the stun, which is very nice for Cynic. They want to stay up and they want to keep this game alive as long as they can and have the possibility of being able to pop this last generator. But Team Elysium is making that very hard to make that a reality and decides not to drop it. Ultra here with the great mind game, and it is able to make something happen as we see Bloodlust 1 coming in with the speed boost effect from the drones, and it looks like she's gonna be taking Ultra's gonna be taking Kesko up top, or balance landing maybe even better, forces Elysium to leave and go for Angels here. That was actually a very nice play. Angels is gonna have to capitalize on that and keep Kesko from getting any pressure at all.
Yeah, and it seemed like Cynic were very almost down and out of it, but Kexo just not able to get the snowball going fast enough, and Cynic's still just about breathing. Barely, but they're still fighting for it, and potentially could get the last gen, maybe.
Yeah, once again, seeing here, Cynic proving doing their best to prove that they can match Elysium, and they are right up there with them. And say that not many teams would have recovered as well as that Cynic did there from that little snowball, but once again, they're keeping it going. They might just be able to get some in here, but it is definitely going to be difficult.
Yeah, and we see a lot of pressure on both of these gens actually, so with all 3 survivors up, if Acid can keep this chase long enough and not give a free down, we could be seeing the last gen pop potentially, because I imagine the other 2 survivors are stacking the one on the hill. Does seem like Acid's going down. Did that buy enough time?
Good hit through the window there, but unfortunately.
They have that gen almost done too.
It'd be interesting to see if one of them, Ultra, can get back onto that gen, whether it's going to get back onto the gen or go for the pickup. It's going to have to go for the pickup in this situation.
Yeah, just some fellow sportsmanship, going between the 2 teams here. But we hear that generator literally, like, that's at least 95%, and you're wondering if they're going to be able to waste Kesko's time enough for him not to be able to counter the survivors from popping that last generator. And we see the force pickup on Ultra. Probably wants them to go for the hook while they double up on that generator. I would assume so. It's close enough to where if we did have a double, no pain rest, right? No, but Ultra is now dead, and it's going to be a 2v1 with Angels on the ground. I didn't even see that when I said the double up part, but Angels does get up. That is a plus side for Cynic, but it's going to depend on how they play here. And these drones, you've seen it many of times too, Brad and Nightmare, like, they have to crouch in certain areas so that they don't get hit with that broken status effect, and it really does, like, cripple the facts of them being able to leave or, get anywhere with any distance. All he has to do is just drop a drone down and get so much status effects from it. And as we catch Angels here, it looks like it's going to be the end of this game. A 28-12 performance.
Yeah, Angels does finally go down. Cynic, after a very long fight, eventually do succumb to Kexo's knives, and it will be a 4K1 result. Elysium just really dominating this first one, and it's going to be a tough test for Cynic to come back from this.
Yeah, Cynic have definitely got it difficult going into the second set here, but Kexo playing, like you said, playing really well with the drones, making it really difficult for Cynic to even get any distance at all, especially in loops. Interesting to see Kexo give the hatch here. Nice bit of sportsmanship.
Alright, well, that's gonna wrap it up. Sorry, Nightmare, 1 second. Sorry, I was just, that's gonna wrap it up. Here are the perks. And guys, if you are in here, make sure you guys follow the stream and !YT in Discord. And we will see you guys with the second set coming just up. And Elysium will be killing first. We will be right back.
We are back with the second set of this matchup between Elysium and Cynic. Cynic did go down 1-0 in that first set, looking to bring it back here with Knight on DDS, Kexo Killer once again. Now I'm once again joined by my co-caster, Dr. Nightmare, and what are you thinking going into this set?
I think it's going to be an interesting set. I mean, the other day in SIC we saw Zero Practice and Cynic, and I think it was Zero Practice went down in a similar fashion, not quite as bad as Cynic did, but in a similar fashion to Cynic in the first set. Managed to really recover it back in the second set, obviously playing Survivor second when they knew exactly what the win con was. So it'd be interesting to see whether Cynic can do the same today and take us to that tiebreaker set.
Yeah, it's definitely going to be a difficult task, but right now Acid and Chase not doing a bad job, makes it around to the street side and does lose a lot of distance on that corner. Wasn't expecting Kexo to come round just then, and will be going down relatively early in Chase.
Yeah, I think Acid almost anticipated the double back there from Kexo, which didn't come unfortunately, and did get caught out on that check spot there. But wasn't too bad of a first chase. Hopefully it's allowed Cynic to get some gem pressure on the go. We can hear Main has got quite a bit of progression there. Pain Res coming in on this first hook, so that's going to take a lot of that away. And we'll have to see where they go from here. Hopefully they're on multiple gens, which they are, which is good. So they've got some pressure under their belt.
Yeah, and one thing right now that is crucial, since Kexo is up on this main side of the map, they pop one of those Gallows gens, because if you see over there, that is a very tight 3-gen. And especially on a killer like the Knight, you don't want to gift that to Kexo. So to try and take advantage of that, pop one of those generators while he's up here would be crucial right now.
100%. The only problem with Dead Dog as a map is you do a lot of the time get that really tight 3-gen over on that side. Like I said, they just need to capitalise on the positioning of Kexo at this moment in time. They can get one of those popped and possibly even Main with it as well. Well, they're nearly up on those pops, so they're well on the way here. Breaking that 3-gen.
As Nini comes in with the trade and gets it pretty cleanly. Kexo not caring, he wants the tunnel out on Acid. Acid doesn't have much distance, has to play this window and goes down, falling into Kexo. So very fast chase, and Acid will be going straight back onto Hook. Or not, the DS coming through. That is huge actually for Cynic, given that extra little bit of time that Kexo now has to chase. And Nini's going to, Acid, I believe, is going to make it all the way to Shack. So definitely going to help out here.
Massive play from Cynic there with the DS. Obviously giving them time to get the pickup on Nini as well. Unfortunately Acid not surviving too much and is now going to end up in the basement. But they've managed to get another generator and the pickup out of it, so it wasn't a fruitless play.
Yeah, hasn't been the brightest of starts from either side, to be fair. Can definitely swing either way depending on how long Cynic can delay this tunnel out, or just completely stop it from happening at all, which is always a potential, but that is the key right now. And it's not looking favourable to Cynic, as unhooking from the basement would be a very, very difficult task.
Yeah, I think I wouldn't be surprised to see Cynic allow Acid to just go to death here. It would probably, for them, be the smartest place that they can focus on gens, especially as it looks like Kexo's just going to sit here and confirm this death.
Seems like it. 2 survivors over on that generator. Not anymore, of course. Ultra being forced off with the guard. But it doesn't seem like anyone is going to be going for the unhooks. That will be a death at 3 generators. A very early tunnel out. Cynic's not able to get the gen pressure to sustain it. And now this chase right now to start off the 3v1 is also pretty crucial by Ultra. And it has eyes on 2 of the survivors, so definitely could be interesting to see how this plays out.
Yeah, Ultra doing really well there though to avoid the double hit and just having to take the tag from the Knight. Unfortunately, it does look like he is going to go down for the guards here. But like I say, it's very difficult for Cynic now. Kexo has got a lot of pressure on these gens. Nini doing really well to get the missing twice, in fact. But yeah, living on borrowed time a little bit here at the moment, I think, Cynic. They are going to have to try and pull it back a little bit, but not doing too bad. They've managed to get 2 gens gone, and I can imagine there is pressure elsewhere on the map on other gens. I think that gen by Water Tower's got quite a little bit on it, so I won't be surprised if we see another gen pop in a minute.
Yeah, but now we see Kexo fully committing for Nini. Doesn't want Ultra, which is an interesting choice to be fair, because if he could have got the pick onto Ultra, could have hooked right next to that gen that was on like 90%. Either way, we'll get the fast down onto Nini and take the pick as the gen pops in the distance. You imagine Angels is going over to pick up Ultra finally, which we do see coming through.
Yeah, and I'm expecting this is going to be a pain raise on that gen anyway, regardless. And then go straight back to that gen, I'd imagine, is what we see here. Although, interestingly, nobody is back on that gen. Although the pain raise did hit it by the looks of it, so it will have progressed a decent amount there. But they've got good gen split, so they've done well to avoid a massively tight 3 gen. If they can pop one of these 2 over here, then they might not have too bad a situation coming towards the end of the game.
Yeah, I mean, it's looking difficult, but so far it's definitely still on the cards for them to get these gens completed. And maybe some outs, but obviously Kexo will not be wanting any of that. And right now he's just chasing Ultra down the street once again. Going for a big cutoff, and actually somewhat paying off, but Ultra does read it eventually and makes it to the pallet.
Yeah, Cynic not actually doing too bad. They're doing well here, managing to keep the gen pressure up, even though Kexo does have a massive amount of pressure on these gens. Unfortunately, whilst they do keep looping here around the gen, they may have to sacrifice this one that they have here at the end of the street, which might make it difficult for them towards the end game, especially if we get the hook right here next to it, which I imagine we will. But it does look like we are going to see the 4th gen pop in a second.
Or not, because Painter is coming through,
yeah.
which could be pretty rough, especially because Angels and Nini didn't even decide to reset off of the hook. They did just decide to focus on gen pressure, trying to get it done. But in the end, it won't be completed. It's going to be very high as Kexo gets his way over there. But it's only Nini left over there. Chasing an injured survivor could be pretty dangerous, but we'll see how it plays out.
Yeah, all 4 gens that remain in, they are grouped into 2s, which is going to make it harder, because each time they take chase by one of them, they are cutting out 2 gens rather than just one. And obviously we've seen Nini go down there, and Ultra unfortunately taking a guard as well whilst injured. So it is going to make it difficult for them. Be interesting to see if we can get the pops on the gens to take it to end game. Obviously maybe see that no-id come into play there that Kexo has got. But right now, I'm finding it difficult to see that we'll get there.
Yeah, it does seem like Cynic are gonna pop that top gen, but actually Nini may be Painers, is not Painers.
Oh.
So I imagine that gen up the top of the map will be popping. A lot of pressure on this one down here as well, so Cynic definitely do have the potential to pop these last 2 gens, but like I said, Kexo is on the front foot right now. And
yeah, we do see that other gen go. Obviously, unfortunately, patrolling right where they've got the most pressure on for the last 3 gens. Although not too bad of a gen split. Obviously they do have that one over on the far side of the map as well. If they can get onto that, and be interesting to see whether they go for the save or whether they do just double up on that gen. But I believe Angels has the last pain res, so it'll be interesting to see whether Ketso can get onto them, which he will right now, and get that pain res to come into play.
Yeah, I mean, deciding to go for the trade instead of stacking up on the generator, which is an interesting choice. Angels is painless, of course, gets rid of 20%, but at the same time, I'm not sure they would have had the time to pop the gen if they let Nini die, so it's probably the better option. But now Nini needs to make up for it with a strong chase. Has a decent setup around this area, but doesn't fall for the window fake, and it looks like we'll be going down in the shack. Only Ultra left up. And is Ultra still on the gen? That is the question, or has they rotated towards Angels?
Well, that has rotated, so not a bad play there from Cynic. Fortunately for Nini, I feel like they'd have been better off taking the window vault there instead of the fake. Obviously, Kexo not falling for it at all. But Cynic's doing well to keep the pressure up, even though it's not looking in their favour. Putting in a respectable performance here against Elysium and Kexo.
And that will be the death finally onto Nini. But Cynic with 2 gens on decently high pressure. So if they can keep the chases long enough, not give anything up for free, make Kexo work for it, maybe they can buy enough time to pop one of them. Right now as Kexo takes chase onto Angels, the injured survivor, who is trapped round the back of the building. So he's just forced into the edge map. But the dead, I don't see. Very interesting sequences. Dead Hard comes into play, but Kexo getting the double hit through it, so Angels going down anyway.
Yeah, it's unfortunate for Angels there. I think he anticipated the hit coming from Kexo rather than the guard, which is why he went for the Dead Hard. Although it'd be interesting to see whether Ultra is able to pop this gen. I don't think he's going to have enough time to before Kexo gets over. Kexo will be able to push him off this gen, but it is going to be tight. Oh, rough there. Cynic's been so close to popping that gen. Obviously, Kexo now knowing exactly where Ultra is, and it's going to be able to, I'd imagine, get on in chase with him very, very quickly and cut him off at shack. Going for the hatch play to try and get one out, but just being beaten. It's unfortunate for Cynic there. Still a fully respectable scoreline for Cynic, so Elysium are going to have to put it in. Obviously, it's nothing to sniff at. Obviously, being able to complete 4 generators, but it'll be interesting to see whether they are going to do it. It's going to take a big game, you'd have to imagine, from Cynic's killer coming into this next game in order to roll it back for them and take us to that tiebreaker set.
And so far, guys, amazing games. We will be getting set up with our second game of the second set here. If Elysium is able to keep this going in their favor and they are able to meet the win con on the survivor side, Team Cynic will go down 2-0 and Elysium will move on into the finals of the winners bracket. And alrighty, welcome back, everybody, as we are getting set up with this possible last game of this series between Elysium and Cynic, as we see Ultra playing the Knight, going against Elysium survivors, and going to have to make an amazing win con, but not impossible. It can definitely happen, and we do appreciate everybody that is here watching these games at the S2 tournament. Make sure you !YT in Discord. And Bread, what's your predictions for this game, knowing that Ultra has to, do a really good win con here against a team like Elysium?
And it's going to be tough for sure. I imagine, due to being on a map like Dead Dog, maybe Ultra will try to play into a 3 or 4 gen, just to try secure a 4K 1 or 2, but otherwise it's going to be a really difficult job to produce a result.
Yeah, I can definitely see Ultra playing towards a 3 or 4 gen here, and unsurprisingly, seeing the build here as well, a complete gen slowdown build, wanting to make those gens take as long as possible to complete.
As Kexo is in chase right now in the main building, but is forced into this pretty rough pallet around the back. We'll see if he's able to play it at all. But the Knight going down should secure the down, but the Knight just saying no, and oh, actually no, Xeno stole the guard. I did not realize that. But very nice coordination, and this chase is still, it was still going. But Kexo gets down through the pallet just about. So that is the first down of the game coming through.
Yeah, unfortunate for Kexo there. Obviously, playing that so well, especially with Xeno coming in to take the guard away off him. Unfortunately, Ping just getting there and ruining that for him. And we do see a pain race come in now on the gen in the background, just stopping him from popping that gen.
Yeah, to be fair, it's a pretty strong early game from Ultra. Wasn't the longest of chases, and now has a relatively favourable hook spot where he can pressure some of those gens that Elysium have been working, and now taking chase onto Pedro once again in the main building. I feel like that's going to be a recurring theme, because main building is the strongest place to chase by miles. Kexo trying to body block, but now might have lost a lot of distance. Is still able to make it to the shack, however, and past the shack even. So there's a lot of distance to make up if Ultra wants to get the tunnel out now.
Yeah, it looks like Ultra opting to go for the tunnel out on Kexo. I wouldn't say I'm too surprised. I'm probably wanting to get them down to three man as quickly as possible, just to make it harder for them to work on those gens. But he's doing well so far. Very good early game from Ultra. Obviously, he's turned up, he's come in, he knows what he's got to do, and he's not messing around. The Cynic definitely going to try and pull this one back here.
Ultra has a lot of information right now, to be fair. Knows where 2 of the survivors are, and potentially 3. I believe we saw Xeno a while back, but now we'll be going to pick Kexo up. If he can find Kexo, which he's struggling with right now, that would be pretty rough if he wasn't able to find him. So obviously that would prevent the tunnel out. It seems like they're going for a pallet save though.
Yeah, Kexo making it very difficult. Kexo making it very difficult to pick him up there. But Ultra doing well to push Xeno off and away from that pallet. Although we can see that Pedro's rotating around in towards the pallet. It's going to make it harder again for Ultra to pick up Kexo and get him on that hook.
Yeah, I mean, Elysium just not wanting Kexo to go down at all. And they do get the pickup and the stun, to be fair. So, you know, tanking with Dead Hard. A very interesting play, but it's worked out very well, actually. As now, Elysium have all 4 survivors up and a lot of distance on Ultra. So that has wasted a lot of Ultra's time trying to get that pickup now.
Yeah, it is definitely unfortunate for Ultra here, and it looks like getting auto aim there on the window, unfortunately. But Ultra started this game really, really well. Just unfortunate for him, Elysium have so far matched him completely in this early game.
I mean, it's definitely still up for contention. I mean, it feels like this game's been going on forever, but we have only just seen the 2nd gen pop. Kexo will be going onto hook for the 2nd stage, and that hook could be right next to that generator, which if it doesn't pop could be a huge hook location for him.
Yeah, managing to get the timing just right on the hook there to prevent the gen from popping. Obviously that gen, as you can see, very, very, very close. Ultra's done well to get that hook there. Obviously he's going to pretty much stop Elysium now from being able to pop that gen for the meantime. But I'd imagine they've got a lot of pressure on another gen elsewhere.
Yeah, but I mean, Elysium just playing really altruistic right now, and it could be their downfall. As we have information on all 3 survivors, as Marcos is now coming in for the save. All 4 Elysium survivors injured. potentially Ultra could get a snowball going here if the down is fast onto Kexo. Actually decides to leave and go for just anyone at this point, rotating between all the survivors. So much information everywhere.
Yeah, I'm very surprised so far to see this playstyle from Elysium. So I would have expected them to just go for the gens, maybe not worry too much about the hooks that come in and let survivors die on the hook. But Ultra, surprisingly, choosing to go for the down on Kexo and choosing not to stay on that gen, although it does get the eruption on the gen, so that is going to help him out.
Yeah, but the DS comes through. So it was going to be the tunnel out, but no. Now that's extended even longer as the 3rd gen pops. So even though it's in a dangerous position right now for Elysium, they're still managing to get some good value, some good progression, and some decent chases out.
Yeah, Elysium doing really, really well here to match Ultra. Ultra's having an amazing game so far, but say Elysium are just matching him completely. Although Ultra, knowing that 3 survivors are all around the main here, we do see a 4th gen pop, which unfortunately for Ultra is in that 3 gen that he had there. So it's going to make the end of this game a little bit more difficult with that gen split that we've got right here now.
Yeah, only one more gen to go for Elysium to win this one. Right now, Ultra takes the free tag onto Xeno, coming in for the body block. And again, all 4 Elysium survivors injured. But playing it injured has actually been working out for them. We'll see if Ultra can capitalize this time around. But this chase has gone on for quite a while, so I wouldn't be surprised to see a gen at least on high pressure.
Yeah, I can imagine Elysium definitely have at least 1, if not 2 survivors on a gen there. Obviously, wow, really quick resets on every single Elysium survivor there. So he's definitely going to make the end of this game a lot more difficult for Ultra. We do see one survivor running towards Shaq, which I would imagine the other 2 are on the 2 gens that we see at the back of the map towards main. Ultra
Yeah,
have to be careful.
To be fair, I imagine they only recently just got onto the gens because we saw the triple reset come through. As Xeno tried to hide in the corner but wasn't able to blend in just enough. And
yeah,
now playing the Shaq. Gonna be interesting to see how he handles this.
Still seeing Pedro hanging on a hook, no sign of any survivor coming in to save, which I'd imagine that was a double up on a gen, which I'm not really surprised about. Obviously Elysium knew what they needed to do to win there and doing everything they can to get it.
Yeah, so that will secure the win for Elysium. Really just dominating this one. First set was 3 stages to a 4K1, I believe. And this one a little bit tighter, but still a very strong performance. They will be going on to face Ariando in the winners bracket. The last 2 teams remaining in the winners bracket, as Cynic will be going down to the losers bracket to face off against Claim in that one. So both teams still in the tournament, still looking to fight their ways to the finals, and I'm excited to see these 2 teams again as Kexo and Marcus make their way to the exit gates to finally secure the win in style, really.
Yeah, Elysium coming into these games not taking any prisoners at all, which is something we see a lot from Elysium across all the tournaments. It really goes to show why they are such a highly rated team.
All right, guys, I hope you guys enjoyed this matchup between Elysium and Cynic, but unfortunately, only one winner can happen, in these games. So Elysium does move on, like Brad said, to face Ariandale in the winners bracket, and then Cynic does move down, but they are still in the competition as this is a double elimination. We are down to the last 5 games now, so we are excited to get this over with and then start our $1,000 tournament, which is going to be amazing. We do appreciate you guys. Big shout out to our casters, Brad and Dr. Nightmare.
course.
But yeah, make sure you guys drop a follow on the stream, !YT in Discord, and we will see you guys in the next matchup as we continue this $500 tournament.